Hey, what's going on, man? Hola amigo, ¿cómo estás? Guten Tag, wie geht's dir? Welcome to a subscriber replay. This is Yavs in his E75. This is a tier 9, excuse me, tier 9 German heavy tank. It is on the steps map. It's a standard battle. It's a pretty solidly tier 9 game. Each side has 3 tier 9s. So the first thing that's going, what he's going to do here is he's going to hang off over to the left towards the typical heavy valley on the west side of the map. You can see here we do have a decent split of tanks on this map. However, we are kind of missing a little light in the middle of the map. We only have one tank destroyer there, although we do have 2 tank destroyers over at J8 protecting that artillery. I'm not quite sure what they're gonna do because I watched this gameplay once already, and I was more so paying attention to Yavs and seeing what he was doing, but so I'm not quite sure what's going to happen towards the middle there. But in any event, this is a phenomenal gameplay. Not only to show you the strengths that the E75 has, and just a really good player, and see how he uses the tank, but also you can learn other things, especially like how to angle your armor, how to use the strengths of your tank to your advantage. You can see him picking out weak spots, how he picks a target to shoot at, a whole bunch of really cool stuff. You can see immediately right off the bat, really crazy shot in the WZ-111, considering that he wasn't zoomed in on it. So anyway, the first shot that he takes goes right into the track. Again, he's picking on that WZ-111. He does have the upgraded gun in this. It's got 128. It's a 128 millimeter gun. 490 damage, 246 pen, so he's going to be doing pretty good with it. And right now he's basically going against one tier lower tanks. The T-34 is a tier 8, Tiger 2 is a tier 8, Ferd's a tier 8 tank destroyer. So he's picking his shots, he's keeping himself armored. And you notice the other thing here is he's always protecting this lower plate. See, he's always got a rock between him and whomever that he's shooting at. You got to protect these lower plates, especially on these German heavies, or any German tank for that matter. Even the Jagd Tiger's got a lower plate like this. You can see it here, and it's just incredibly easy for you to get penetrated there and destroyed. So he's doing a good job here, just using his strengths to his advantage. Got a little lucky there to miss that shot, and just keeps sitting back. Takes a shot, moves back behind cover, just doing that continually over and over and over again. Now he's going after that Ferdinand because it's farther outside. He doesn't want to maneuver his tank a little bit extra because it might allow the T-34 to get a shot on him. Whatever. He's picking the farthest outside target and then working his way in. That's the way you got to do these things. You can see here he gets out, takes a shot, he gets right behind cover again. It's excellent gameplay. It's exactly what you got to do. A lot of times, as you'll see with new players, is they'll do this for a little bit, but then they'll get frustrated. And they'll stop and they might get a little sloppy. He's not doing that. He does it every single time, every single round, and he's going to continue to do it. Was a good shot right there into the cupola on the T-34. For some reason, I am always bouncing off that thing. But, well, hey, such is life. You did a pretty good job there. You see, you bounced that time too, hey buddy. Again, he's still keeping himself armored. He's shooting at the farthest outside tank. Right there, he takes a shot, finishes off the T-34 because he can. The other one back there was hiding behind that Ferdinand, so he couldn't really get a shot on him. Someone else takes him out anyway. And at this point, it's essentially all she wrote. You can see that this tank's got amazing armor. Now, he does have some gold ammunition, but he's not using it. You can see this Tiger 2 has just got no chance, especially with the unupgraded turret. So he shoots him right in the cheek, so to speak. But unfortunately, takes a shot at it takes a shot from that M12 artillery. So it's actually a really close game. Still 9-7. They're only up 2 tanks. But, well, let's see. They still have two two tier 9s. The other team only has one tier 9. 3 arties in each map, or on each team. You can see he's talking there about just the armor itself. He knows that this thing's got extremely good armor and he's using it to his advantage. Regardless of whether you're top tier and you're going against a tier 9 tank or tier 8 tanks like that, even though he was going against lower tier tanks, you didn't see him getting cocky and pushing out or anything like that. You still saw him sitting behind cover and using that to his advantage and using the armor to his advantage, is slowly but surely working his way down through each enemy. You see this a lot with I guess I can't comment too much about it anymore since I haven't played the lower tiers for the most part since the latest patches, but back in late 7s and early patches, you know, 8.0s and whatnot, you'd see a lot of the KV1 drivers, they would just drive right out in the open because they knew they had better armor. But and I would use the Stug all the time. Even though they had the better armor, I would just dominate them from the distance. And another amazing shot, considering it's not zoomed in at all. I would just dominate them from a distance because they get used to that good armor and they think, well, I'm going against lower tier tanks, they're just going to bounce off me, you know, so on and so forth. But with the better players, you don't see them, they don't do those sorts of things. It's the little things when you get to the higher tiers like this, it's the little things, doing them repeatedly, over and over and over again, that separates, you know, the great players from just the good ones. And you can see here that he is a very, very good player. Now he's just going to sit and cap because obviously with the E75 we don't have much speed, so it really doesn't do him a whole heck of a lot of good to try to get out of the cap and screw around. But he does move around a little bit to make it a little bit more difficult for that GW Panther to try to get another shot in on him. But he does come up to the end here. See, that's a nice little technique. He did like a big circle around there in case that GW Panther had an eye on him. He did like a big circle so the Panther would think that he moved off someplace, and then he came right back to where he was before. It's a good sneaky move there. And essentially this is all she wrote. But you are going to see the statistics at the end of the game because I always like to show you guys those slides. He did submit them with his gameplay. And obviously he's had a beast of a game. And I think I'm going to speed it up a little bit here because not really much happens anymore. So we take out the last artillery piece and it's coming down to the final seconds. And they get him and he gets the 100% cap. So with that, I'm going to get into the slides in just a second. Just hold on 1 second, please. Okay, so here's the first slide. You can see he didn't get a Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, but he did get a Mastery Badge First Class, which I think is like better than 90% of the players, 95% of the players, something like that. So he did an extremely good job, but he can also, at the same time, appreciate that this tank is very good and you're going to have to do something amazing with it in order to get that Ace Tanker badge. He's got a whole bunch of other awards and medals and all that kind of good stuff. So he did a really good job. See, he destroyed 4 tanks as you saw earlier. He damaged 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Damaged 6 total tanks. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so he did the damage of those 6 total tanks for a grand total of 4,077 damage. Obviously led the team. Again, very good job. With basically 4 times as much damage dealt than anybody else. The next one was the tier 6 T69, so he can't be too upset about that either, considering T69 is a tier 8 and a tier 9 battle. So that T69 did a very good job too. And then the opposite team, that's interesting. The Centurion 7-1 did 4,069 damage. Also had 4 enemies destroyed, but he was in the platoon, so it's a little bit easier to get those kinds of scores when you're in a platoon, whereas Yavs wasn't. And Yavs they beat him by what, 8 damage. So that's cool. Let's go on to the final one. Okay, final slide. Shots fired 12, direct hits 12 of them, 11 of those penned, for a grand total again of 4,077 damage. He took 16 hits, only 5 penetrated. And remember, some of those hit the tracks. and just did damage to his tracks. 2 of them were from artillery. So, there you go. 11 non-pens. So this armor is amazing. Damage blocked by armor, 4,410. Spotted 1 vehicle. Let's see. Assisted in causing 205 damage. That's cool. Anyway, the credits he received, 40,810 credits. Auto repair the vehicle. And that's essentially, I think, from halfway. I think he was a little bit less than halfway of half health. Anyway, it costed him 10,732 credits for his ammunition. For those 12 shots that he fired, basically 1,000 credits a round for a total of 12,840. Netted himself 17,238. He's also not a premium player, so wow, that's, good job to you, dude, to not have premium there and still pull off those kind of numbers. Experience, he received 1,182 experience. So all in all, a very, very good gameplay. Hopefully, if you guys are using the E75 or you're on your way to the E75, you can see what's in store for you. It's a great tank. Very, very good gun on it. Very good armor. You can see Yavs put that into work in this match. And if you're not on the E75 or whatever, you can still see how to angle your armor. He does a great job using that. He does a great job using the tank's strengths to his advantage, namely the armor. He was picking out weak spots in the enemy tanks. For example, in that T-34, shooting a cupola. That's obviously good. Picking out the correct targets to shoot at. He was always picking out the farthest to his flank. He wasn't trying to shoot, the guy on the inside. He was shooting the guy to the farthest left. That way, he doesn't have to expose his tank, and he also doesn't have to worry about that guy being out there anymore. If you destroy the guy to the farthest left, you don't have to worry about getting flanked and all that kind of junk too. So he did a very, very good job overall. Thanks a lot for sending this gameplay in. He does comment a lot on the channel. I'm sure he'd be really appreciative to see your congratulations and whatnot down in the comments. So yeah, let me know what you think. As always, please like, comment, favorite, subscribe. It really helps the channel out if you do all those things. And if you have any gameplays that you want me to take a look at, go ahead and send that to my email. You can see it in the About page, and be more than happy to take a look at them. If they're pretty good, I'll put them up on here if we can learn from them or whatever. But yeah, so with that, take care, and I'll look forward to seeing the next one. Bye.